scores?
Kentucky beat Cleveland State. Mercy beat IUI. Youngstown State beat Wright State by 1.
1. Wright State was a favorite in that game at Youngstown, which surprised me. Is he coming? 3 turnovers. What kind of game?
He kicked that one. I promise you.
Oh, I'm just saying. We weren't going to get a call.
Yeah, I know.
I'll give an opening statement while we're waiting, and you can ask Brody anything till Mike gets here, okay? You know, I don't like games like this in December, and last year, a team that won the league opened in this week in December at home and lost by 30. Still won the league. 2 years ago, we opened at home against that team and lost by 20 and still won the league. And I think that says a lot, and especially in this new era with a lot of different new players. We made a lot of mistakes out there, and you want to make those mistakes against non-league games so that when you get into league games, you don't make them. And that's why, you know, you don't like games like this. On the other side of it, I'm sure they feel the same way. They made a lot of mistakes. I mean, it was a lot of three-point shots, you know, a lot of great offensive basketball, and a lot of defense that needs to be fixed. But I told our guys before the game, look, we just want to be 1 point ahead when this thing's over. That's it. It's December, and we got to find a way to win. Come on up, Mike. We got to find a way to win, and we did that. And I think we had a fairly comfortable lead. I mean, we got it up to double digits in the first half, and would they get it down to 6 was the closest it got. So, I mean, and when it got 6, guy can't make a free throw, but he made them when it mattered. And, you know, he's our best free throw shooter, and he's just struggling from the line right now. He'll be fine. If you're going to struggle, now's the time to struggle. But I believe in him 100% that he'll make them all when it counts. And he made the ones that counted tonight. So I'll get questions to the players, and then we'll get them out of here. You didn't know how to get up here, or what?
Yeah, I had some trouble.
Brody, this was kind of your first experience, like in a real home game against a D1 team, and it's been known as a kind of a shooter's gym. Did you feel like you got in kind of a rhythm tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just putting the time in, just getting on the gun, shooting with Cam, Bobby, Wiz. I mean, if you're prepared, you trust that any shot's going to go in. And my teammates did a great job setting me up. Coy did a great job of hitting me in transition a couple times. Brett hit me a couple times. IG found me. I mean, this is a team effort. I just was hitting shots today. I mean, the team started the game with 3 threes, and that's what really started everything.
So, Brody, you were one of 6 Golden Grizzlies to hit a 3 tonight. You hit many of them, but for you and your teammates, what was going on beyond the arc that was so successful tonight?
I mean, I think that can happen on any given night. I think 10 guys can, well, 9, not Nate, but 9 guys can hit a 3 on any given night. And, you know, I just think we had it going. And, I mean, Brett could hit 10 in a game. Nassim could hit 10 in a game. I mean, there's so many guys that could hit many shots. And, I mean, it's a very skilled basketball team. And, I mean, anybody on any given night could go for 20. So.
Mike, what about the depth in the front court with this basketball team? Because it almost seems like as the game goes on, as I'm calling it, I'll sit there and think, well, Mike hasn't scored in a minute. And then you look down, you have 8 points, you have 10 points, and then IG's kind of the same way. You guys, it's almost like you guys take turns in kind of taking over the basketball game. Is that a good assessment?
Yes, it is. I think we're all really close with each other off the court, so that kind of goes into our dynamic. We're always constantly talking to each other or on, you know, if they're, because a lot of teams try to double one of us because we have it going. So just knowing who has the advantage, how to play off of each other, and that's something the coaches emphasize all the time, just us having the identity and being able to play off of each other and knowing what we can bring with us 3. So, yeah, it's just a great dynamic to have.
Mike, how much more comfortable are you today than when you first stepped on the court at Eastern Michigan?
I'm starting to get a lot more comfortable. I know, just getting out with the guys, you can practice all you want to, but getting out and playing with guys in the actual game setting, know where guys like to have the ball, what sets we're going to be ran, where I can cut and fit and make my impact to the team. I'm getting more comfortable, and obviously I think I'll get better as I get more healthy, but we're definitely trending in the right direction and getting better.
Brody, for you, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. It felt like you were getting downhill. You were getting out in transition. I just want to know what you were seeing out there on the court today.
Just a lot of open space. I mean, we work on spacing every day. A lot of our offense is based on that. So I think a lot of open space, and, there's so many shooters around me like Nassim and Brett. And, I mean, you leave Mike, you leave IG, you leave Guru at the rim. I mean, it's an easy dump off to a layup or a dunk. So there's just a ton of space to work with. And, I've been doing it my whole life, just playing one-on-one. So, it just feels natural, just playing.
Anything else with Brody and Mike? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You know how to get back to the locker room? No questions?
What's the number one thing that you learned about your team tonight?
About what?
That you learned about your team tonight.
We're never out of it, and our opponent's never out of it. When you play at a pace like that, you're going to see runs. And I told you at halftime, you're going to see runs. We got it up to 18, and they got it right back. First half we got it up to 13 or 14, and they got it right back. They played very well. I would tell you that I've watched all their games, and that was the best game they've played this year, as far as against a, not a Defiant, and not, like our game against Defiance. They had 3 games like that where they won 100-30 or something like that. I'm not talking about those games, but in a Division I game, I think he feels pretty good about his team, that they're getting better. And when they shoot the ball well, they got 37 threes tonight, which in this gym they always do. I've told him this is his home court more than it is ours. They play unbelievable here every year. And we had to find a way to win and be one up, and we did. And we made big plays when we had to. We made a ton of errors defensively in the last 6 minutes. We went man-to-man, and, Warren left. Number 11 is a great shooter, and he left him with 34, who's averages 2 points a game, is rolling to the rim, and he went and tagged him when we said out of the timeout, no threes, no fouls, a 2's not going to beat us. The only way they can beat us is if they make a 3, and he went in and tagged him anyways. And it's a mistake he'll never make again, because I let him know it, all right? And everybody, why are you yelling? Because it can't ever happen again. But it's going to happen because he's a freshman, and it's never been in that situation before. So you got to let him know it, and he knows it now. But those are the mistakes you make in November and December, and that's why your defense might not ever be as good. Offensively, my God, we had 25 assists tonight, and when you play dribble drive, it's hard to get 25 assists in a game. All but 10 of our baskets were off assists, and that's very unusual for a Greg Campy coach team. So I got to look at that, because I have no idea how we got 25 assists. But I've got to look at it. I will tell you we didn't run a lot of offense tonight, though. We just pushed the ball and let players play. I think that's one thing I've always been pretty good at, is if you get a player, let him play. Which is why we get good players, is because they know that.
Camp, this is going to sound like kind of an insane question on a night where you had 101 points, but you did kind of answer it by saying you guys didn't run a lot of offense. It just, when you did try to get into offense, were you happy with how it worked? Because it seemed like you tried to get the ball into the post, into the bigs, because you didn't go to the free throw line a lot like you typically do.
Not in the first half. We didn't. We went 24 times in the second half or something, 23 times in the second half. But we were asked on the radio show last night, and somebody said, well, how are these teams going to guard? Well, you saw tonight how they're going to try and guard the post. They put a shell down there around it, and as soon as anybody got the ball, they tried to steal it, and they doubled and tripled and just left everybody. And we shot 29 threes, and we're averaging only like 15 to 18 threes a game. So that's what you've got to do on a night like that. You've got to step up and make threes. And, Brody made his threes, and he is a emotion player. When it's a run and things are going, that's when he's at his best. He did the same thing at Montana. He couldn't make a shot, and boy, when we made the run to win, he was making them and fired up. And he had some deep ones tonight. And Brett White is just an unbelievable shooter. And if you're going to double and triple down there, you're going to give some really good shooters. As you said, 6 guys made a 3 tonight. You're going to give some really good shooters open looks. I think we took a few late in the game we shouldn't have taken, but again, that's the learning process. I ran a play and the scene was wide open and took a 3, and you saw me go nuts on him. And everybody, why would you do that? The kid made 3 threes in a row. No, because that's not the play. Down in distance, know the play, understand winning, and you only can do that by making mistakes. Nobody gets better just by being told. We don't live in a world like that anymore where we listen. We make mistakes and we learn from them.
Coach, you mentioned that these conference games in December are tough. When it comes to conference play, do you have a different kind of mindset to preach to the team, or is it kind of same game?
Well, I think the people here can tell you how I feel about league games. There's only one way to look at it. I use the analogy, and our track coach loved this because a couple of years ago he heard about it and he wanted me to bring hurdles into the practice. But I think there's 20 hurdles that are in front of you, and it's a starting line, and everybody goes over all 20 hurdles, and the team that knocks the fewest ones down win. And so if you knock one down, you got to keep playing and get the next one, right? I learned a long time ago we used to put everything into beating Detroit, and we beat Detroit 3,000 times in a row, it seemed like, but we always lost the next game. So you learn from your mistakes, as the players do, the coach does. And we stopped doing that. Detroit's just another game. And now I don't feel that way when I go out there, but it's just another, because if I make them you're going to knock. So when it's over, now some hurdles are bigger than others, because with 4 hurdles to go, if you're with the guy and you clear and he knocks it down, that's like 2, right? So, but at this time of the year, it's just 1 hurdle. Now, we got one of the best mid-majors in the country coming in here Saturday. They like to run and shoot. They'll shoot a ton of threes. You could see another. I told you during the first media session after whatever game that was, the exhibition game, you're going to see a lot of 110 to 90 scores like the old days, and you saw one today. A lot of free pizza.
Coach, there was a lot of chatter about the condition of campus and the heat, and
I'm burning up right now. I don't know about you guys, but I am smoking hot right now.
So I took some measurements. It was 20 degrees outside, 65 on the courts, and 1 million in here. Was the temperature any effect on the game?
Never thought about it. The only disappointment I have, I think Oakland University and the administration, from the president's office through our office, through everybody, our facilities people, did an unbelievable job. They let people know. They could have easily done nothing, and nobody would have known the difference. Right? But in this day and age, you got to let people know we did a wonderful job. We did a great job there was a swim meet going on, parking's bad, this, and this. I don't think anybody came here. The VIP people probably were a little upset that they couldn't just park and walk in the back door, but they understand. And our administration did a tremendous job. And I never thought anything about this. We had a game to go. You got to go win the game. And nobody's going to look back and say, oh, you did this or whatever. You won or you lost. And so I never thought anything about it. I have one disappointment, and it's after 42 years and all that we've been through, I can say this. Our student section is terrible. And you don't like it, too bad, because ESPN called our student section the best in the country. Best mid-major student section in the country. And where are they? You watched us go to Purdue and play the way we played. You watched us play Houston. You watched us go to Central Florida and be a one-possession game in the last minute. You see we're scoring 100 points a game. You're seeing dunks and great plays, and you got a point guard that's unbelievable. Where are you? I'm pretty upset about that. Other than that, Jared Calhoun, the coach that was at Youngstown, is now at Utah State. He told me 3 years ago, he goes, we're just trying to be like you guys. We're just trying to get Youngstown to be like Oakland because we never want to go play at Oakland. It ain't like that right now. and I don't know where they are. And don't tell me it's December. Where are they? You know, I'm angry about that. Now, 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. Go ahead and get mad at me. I got a really good team, and we're going to be here Saturday against one of the best mid-majors in the country. I'm not lecturing you guys, but you hit a nerve.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I think you say it is hot here.
I told you what?